Welcome to Island Express Hardware, where we work with your budget. We supply all paints, all brands, and all sizes. And we are of course the cheapest in Trinidad. We also supply pumps and water tanks, and we also have them in combo deals. Visit us for the best friendly customer service. Need steel, beams, and purlins? We got that. We have top quality lats and boxing board, ply boards, gypsum boards, you name it. Do you love to fish? Have no fear, cause we have all the gears. Visit Island Express Hardware today, located at Rashid Avenue, Kakandi Road, Felicity Shogunas. To Felicity Banquet Hall, where unforgettable memories are made. Whether you're planning a wedding, birthday party, corporate meeting, or any special gathering. Why choose us? We are spacious, elegant, and fully air-conditioned hall. Customizable seating for up to 200 guests. Beautiful decor and lighting options. On-site kitchen and catering services. We are available 7 days a week. Located at Rashid Avenue, Kakandi Road, Felicity Shogunas. Call the number on the screen today and book now.
I have told you all right that any government rebuke any government rebel that property tax, I am going to vote for them. In the proximity of $200 million. Where is the $3.6 billion gone? The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago say, here what? If you have $25,000,
no pension.
No pension for you.
You have plenty money.
Dr.
Yes.
Kid Rowley. If you are a leader, you are responsible for your flock.
It's something called freedom of expression in this country.
You're going to get that money to pay property tax. Okay, my friends, pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, and those of you who are locked on to our program, Hardfacts. I'm your host, Imam Rashid Karim, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Balde. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, starting time 12:15 in the afternoon. It's your lunch time, it's your lunch break. It is your program that is going to identify, my friends, the challenges. Okay, my friends, pleasant, good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are locked on, those of you who are anticipating our program thus far, welcome to our program Hardfacts that is aired Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, starting time 12:15 in the afternoon. So those of you who are maybe live on Fire Stick, maybe on YouTube, maybe you are on Facebook or TikTok, you have an opportunity to call us at 372-2129. Let us know what is taking place in your communities in Trinidad and Tobago. Because, my friends, a lot of things is happening in our country. A lot of things is happening in our country. And you know something? Very few people really and truly is venting, except with the exception of maybe those persons who are in opposition at this point in time. I just want to let you all know that the country at this point in time is reeling when it comes to crime. There's a lot of crime taking place in our country, and a lot of call is being made at this point in time. And I've been making it in this program, and I've been asking and calling on the Minister of Homeland Security, come out and let people know what is his plan, what is his plans to really and truly bring about some sort of curbing in the activities of crime. Because I tell you something, in our program today, we have approximately 15 or 20 incidents that occurred from Monday till Wednesday. We are talking about just about 2 days' time, and there's about 15 heinous crime committed in our country. So, my friends, those of you who are locked on, feel free to call us, and you're going to realize that Mr. Premchand Baldev is back in studio. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome Mr. Premchand Baldev. Prem, welcome back to the program. Yeah. And again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, this is your program. This is your live wire. It is an opportunity that you have where you can identify anything and everything that occurs in your community, whether it is the good, whether it is the bad, whether it is the ugly. And I tell you something, this program really and truly, we try our best to highlight issues that could lift the status of our citizens in our country. So, my friends, again, I want to take this opportunity to welcome all those who are live, whether it be on maybe in the Caribbean islands, maybe in North America, South America. I want to say a special hello to our friend, Brother Samuj, who is in New York at this point in time. And there are so many people who have been telling me, people in Florida, people in Canada, people in different parts of the Caribbean islands have been calling, Guyana, Suriname, and different places have been calling and identifying that they are looking at our show. And I want to say a hats off and a special thank you for doing so. So those of you who are locked on, feel free again. Let us know what is your take. The government is in office approximately close to the 3 months marker. And you know something, a lot of things is happening. But I believe that, you know, the government of the day needs to identify and to highlight those things that is taking place. Not only in Facebook. Because I tell you something, there are lots and lots of things that they are doing. And you know something, what is superseding is that we are seeing the opposition at this point in time, they are making, you know, irrelevant claims and making suggestions and saying that, you know, maybe it is not their fault that so many $1 billion have been really and truly taken away by people who are not even functioning. You would classify them as ghosts, and they are being paid a hefty salary, especially when it comes to CPEP, when it comes to the URP program, and so many things, right? So you and I, those of you who are locked on, you can call us. You can call us and highlight, identify what you think about those programs. You know, what is alarming, before I give Premchand the opportunity, what is alarming, my friends, you know what? I have seen the government of the day, they have initiated, you know, for the CPEP workers, while investigations are going on, in the amount of monies that went missing. You know something? Those things are information that is coming forward to we, the citizens of this country. But we, as citizens of this country, this is our monies. This is our hard-earned monies that has been taken away. And I would like, and I'm calling on the relevant agencies to ensure that somebody is persecuted for it. That is the point that I'm making here today. Because we're going to see it, we're going to hear it, and then they're going to be swept under the carpet. And that is something that we don't want. Those persons who are gullible, those persons who are guilty of crimes, for example, having people working in companies and being paid, and they are not even residing in this country, that is warrant for arrest, and that is for persecution. And we are calling on the government not only to highlight it, but let somebody really and truly pay for the crimes that is taking place. Whether it's the chairman of the boards or whoever it may be, wherever the chip fall, let it be. Right? So those of you who are locked on, feel free. You have that opportunity, 372-2129, to call me and let us know what is taking place in your neck of the woods. Prem?
Well, thank you very much, our Reverend Imam Rashid Karim. And namaste, assalamu alaikum, and a pleasant midweek good afternoon to all our viewers of Sentinel Media Broadcasting in Trinidad at large, our Caribbean countries, and by extension, the entire world. My friends, it is a pleasure to be here once again. You know, the Imam must have informed you all that I was on a 2-month course, and I was also teaching in Hinduism, Hindi and that sort of thing, and that has come to an end, so I am back with you all once again. Now, the Imam raised some very, very vital, pertinent points there, that what is really taking place in our country. Imam, I want to say this to you. Never was there a time in the history of Trinidad and Tobago that the taxpayers, the ordinary citizens who are paying PAYE, pay as you earn, who are paying health surcharge, and who are paying the other deductions that are coming out from their salary. There was never a time in Trinidad and Tobago, as now, when people are concerned about how their taxpayers' money from the treasury is being spent and accounted for. Am I right?
Exactly.
Right? Now, people, you know, even the doubles vendor, even the guy who is probably picking up garbage with the swim culture, he also is concerned about where the money is going, how the previous and the present government, they are spending the money, how, you know, whatever account that is being made, and people want to know. Now, the Imam made a point that those that are guilty or found guilty or are yet to be found guilty must be held accountable and taken before the courts. As the Imam said, you know, highlighting it only in social media, you're not doing anything.
No.
You're not doing anything. People want to see these people are being held accountable legally. Put them before the courts. Where money is concerned, you know, Imam, if an employee of yours steal $100, would you trust that individual to work there again and forgive him? No. You cannot do that. You have to get rid of him. So in a like manner, people want to see some measure of legal action taking place. Now, our students are, you know, our school children, they are on their August vacation, Imam. And, you know, it's a time to, you know, give them a little break, take them to the beach and whatnot, you know, to little malls and little here and there, Sunday picnic and whatnot. And we wish them well. We wish all the students who were successful in their exams, probably their first choice or second choice, whatever the case is, we wish you all, you know, happy vacation. Now, Imam, while I was on my way to the studio, just about a few minutes ago, the traffic lights at the Monroe Road flyover is not functional. Now, there is no buildup of traffic because school is closed.
Yeah.
All right, so whoever in the Chaguanas borough or in the constituency of Chaguanas is responsible for traffic lights, we are asking you, Sentinel Media is asking you to have that rectified as early and as soon as possible to prevent any unusual occurrences and accidents and that sort of thing. Now, my friends, the election is over. You know, Imam, election breeds enmity. It breeds anger between husband and wife, between brothers and brothers, between workers and between business people, and even members of the mosque and the mandir and church, and that is what election does. But the beauty about Trinidad and Tobago is that when everything subsides, the anger and the animosity, the political animosity, Imam, also subsides. And we are once again back as a people, and we are here to govern a country. That is all our concern. We are here, everybody, it is your responsibility to help govern and make your country productive, Imam.
Okay, so again, as Prem is mentioning, right, those of you who are locked on, right, especially when it comes to the political scenarios, right, and I want to say, I just beg to differ a bit on what Prem have just said, because I tell you something, when we look at the United National Congress, and you look at the internal election that took place, that would have been with certain MPs, and they contested a Democratic.
I was talking about a general election, eh?
Oh, no, I am talking about, you're talking about general election.
Yeah, I was speaking.
Well, general election, that's normal. General election.
We go back to normalcy.
Yeah, really and truly it go back, because I tell you something, the party that was victorious was a party that really and truly did things to the people in the past, and I know for a fact that they are going to continue doing things in the present to really and truly enliven the life of the citizens of this country. So hats off to that. But back to the political scenario when it comes, because you know there's an internal election coming up just a short time, a period from now, and that would have been pertaining to the political leader of the United National Congress. I know for a fact that that election should be totally cancelled, because I tell you something, nobody is really and truly fit and capable at this point in time to contest that election. So that should be a null and void election. Maybe that could be something like a public statement made by the general populace of the party, stating that, you know, people can maybe just voice yes or no.
If there is no one contesting the political leader, what do you have an election for?
Yeah, no election. I think make a statement. Just make a statement and just make, because there is nobody in their right mind at this point in time will be willing to challenge the Honorable Kamala Prasad for the political. Yes, nobody. So basically, that is like spitting in the wind, and that is a waste of time. So I believe the national executive should make a statement and get that out of the minds of people, because don't talk about democracy, because there is no democracy when it comes to that at this point in time. We have a lot of things in our mind right now. We're talking about crime, because I tell you something, you know, these people who committing crime in our country, somehow or the other, they are really and truly in a position to dictate a lot of paces. Because I tell you something, one woman last week was kidnapped in the presence of her husband and so forth. That woman is still missing. And I tell you something, there's so many things. If you really and truly have a proper, coordinated, and hear me good, a proper and coordinated, you know, whether it be a TTPS investigation or investigative team, as you would like to call it, my friends, those people who have been kidnapped in different areas could be easily found, because there are strategic areas that people have to pass to exit. And here it is, there are cameras that we, the citizens of this country, are paying money for maintenance and for viewing and all these things. There are certain places that there are people who sit in behind cameras in offices and looking at screens, and they would know exactly where and when vehicles are passing and so many things. So you tell me, my friends, if there is a special investigative team, whether it be under the TTPS or under the SWAT or whatever, you're going to realize that people are going to be found. But somewhere down the line, the Homeland Security Minister needs to wake up and revitalize that system, put things in place, because during the election campaign, people voted for him, knowing for a fact that he would have been a fighter when it comes to crime fighting. And here it is, this is going in 3 months now, and we are seeing, when you look at the statistics, you're talking about 89 murders in the period of maybe around 88 days. So a murder a day, so something has to be done. And I'm calling on the the Honorable Kamala Prasad, the Prime Minister of our country, to really and truly maybe supply the Homeland Security Minister with the relevant needs, so that he can be able to really and truly challenge the menaces that is portraying themselves as crime and being, you know, saved by the system. That is something that we really and truly need to talk about, because a lot of people is being killed, a lot of people is being kidnapped, a lot of people, you know, people are very scared at this point in time.
But Imam, just about 2 days ago, I think it was, you know, I will give the record I did during the break period. There was some guys standing side the road next to El Pala, somewhere in Belmont, I think it was.
Yeah.
And a couple of friends. There was a little boy, a little child, so to speak, who just seconds before came and left that location. And a black car pulled up, and 3 guys came out and sprayed everybody with bullets.
Yeah.
And 3 people succumbed to their injuries, and you know the other one is in hospital. Now, as the Imam was speaking about crime in our country, the Homeland, listen people, we here in Sentinel Media Broadcasting, we are not for or against. Am I right, Imam?
Yeah.
We are here to discuss the issues. Crime was one of the, one of the strongholds, and property tax in which the United National Congress won the election.
Yeah.
Therefore, you would have had a plan in place for crime.
Yeah.
Here we see the Homeland Security Minister, the Honorable Roger Alexander, telling a reporter that, hold some straight, no friend, No, partner.
No, that is unacceptable.
80-something murders in 40 days. When you hold in strain, are you saying to we that, hey, that's right, if about 15, 20, and then
Because we have some viewers here. We have some viewers here, right? And I tell us something. People are saying that SOE is coming, a state of emergency is coming again. Yeah. And that is something that I tell you, no new government would want to implement that.
Neither, yes.
That is, I mean, a stain and a blemish. So we are asking, and you know something, if you all follow our program here on Sentinel Media, Hard Facts, you're going to realize that we have been seeing this. We have been seeing, you know, that escalation when it comes to crime. It seems that people are satisfied with Roger Alexander being there as the Minister of Homeland Security.
Listen to me,
it seems so.
It seems so. It's a perception.
Yeah.
Now listen, 81 murders or whatever in 40 days. In 80 days, sorry. All right? The Imam and I repeatedly on Sentinel Media broadcasting, because our country is under siege. All right?
Yeah.
Whether you like it or no. And we have been, advocating and appealing to the then Commissioner of Police, and now we are going to re-appeal to the present Commissioner of Police and the Minister of Homeland Security. What can the ordinary citizens do to protect themselves?
Basically, they could do that. That is a cry and a lament that we have been saying. We have been saying that in this program for the past 2 years. And what we are saying here is that we are seeing every single day MPs, ministers, not MPs again, but ministers in government, they are highlighting the atrocities and the fraud and the different actions that were perpetrated by the last government. And that was the same thing that the PNM did when they went in office.
9 years.
They blame the United National Congress for thieving and thieving and thieving and thieving. And the point I'm making, nobody was held responsible.
Yes.
Nobody was jailed. And it seems as though, you know, it's that kind of puppy show thing that everybody, they're going on the same road, highlighted. You think that I feel good when I see 1 billion was spent on programs like CPEP and URP, and then you are saying this investigation have pointed out that there are 6,000 people who were ghosts.
The director has a clip, you know. There's
yeah.
a clip.
There were so many people who were collecting money under false pretense. You all know that. Why can't you go back and take the monies? If you know that no job, the ghost is a reality. Over 6,000 URP jobs were being ghosted out.
Meaning people were being paid and never perform, never go on the job.
So the point we are making here is that you all have those information. Those information, you can't go outside there and just make speculate.
That has to be credible information.
And those information came via the books. That came via
after auditing.
Audit, right? And I tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to hear the same story over and over and over. This is happening, this is happening, this money was stolen. This, like for example, I saw the past finance minister, right? He making statement that this government is draconian. I can't understand how ridiculous these people could be. Knowing for a fact, right, that you were there for 10 years, you never corrected anything, you never do anything for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. The people were remaining silent. And I tell you something, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, no, at this point in time, we said it. For the past 10 years, there were no protests. Now we see in protests.
Imam, you hit a nail there, boy.
Now we see in protests, like people,
look and cranny.
Everywhere. I tell you something, I saw one woman making a statement. And she's making a statement like this, that the government, out of camaraderie, out of patriotism, out of kindness, out of brotherhood, they are offering to the CPEP workers one month's salary. Now that month's salary would have been, why? Because of investigation under the misappropriations of funds when it comes to CPEP. Now the person is asking, what next? What next? When people, the past government, when PNM, right? When PNM came into office and they cut all. When they went in Petrotrin and they cut all the jobs, who were really and truly fighting for the people at that time?
What next?
Who were fighting?
Now, Director, there's a clip that I sent to you with Faris Al-Rawi and the ex-chairman of CPEP contracts total by year 2029 awarded by the People's National Movement amounted to $1.4 billion. Now, in that clip below, in order to, can you blow it up a bit, to extend the CPEP contract CPEP board required a cabinet approval. MP Faris Alari at that time did not send a note to cabinet, so there were no cabinet approval for $1.4 billion.
So basically, what
Imam, that is white collar fraud.
So what has really taken place there is that Faris Alwari, who was the line minister at that point in time, is vehemently and claiming, no, he's claiming that wasn't passed in cabinet, that cabinet note wasn't given.
Yes,
so it clearly indicates that people, and we have to understand that cannot happen in this government.
No. And you know something, people, Minister Barry Padarat, about 2 weeks ago, he made that statement that upon investigation, there were no cabinet note present or put forward in cabinet for the approval of that sum of money for contracts. So Minister Padarat was correct.
Yeah. Right, and you know something, there are people who are going to say that the UNC have a short time in office.
Yeah,
Because I tell you something, 5 years. And that is the policy of what we have seen in the past. The UNC will come into the office, fix it, and then you know something, basically they're going to get exit again, and then we're going to suffer for 10 years. I fed up with this. We have to understand that people have to get locked up. People have to get jail. You commit the crime, you have to face the time. And you all have evidence. Whoever hold the position, whoever is the chairman of the board, people rushing now. Everybody, give me a position. I want to be in a board. I want to be a chairman. Everybody wants to be in boards. Why? Answer that question, Prem. Why?
When you are a board member, especially a chairman of a board, you are like a prime minister to that company, you know.
Basically, you making decisions, you cutting your own deal. And I tell you something, when you look at it,
awarding contracts,
political opponents, right? Excuse. What we are saying, right? People are claiming that all those positions that was, whether it be CPEP, URP, whatever it's state boards and what have you, those things are politically appointed. Yes, it's payback time. It's payback time. Very few people. I'll tell you something. When you look at the boards, and that is something I'm holding back. You all will realize that I'm holding back and looking at the components of the board. If you have a board, you have people living in this country. They are Hindu, Christian, Muslim, African, Indian, Chinese, whoever.
Cosmopolitan.
Right? The board's supposed to be a composition of all the above. All the above should be representative of that board. Why? So that the people of the country could feel, a kind of comfort zone.
You belong.
Yes,
feel like
belonging, right.
Yeah.
But that
You're
is
part
not,
of it.
that we have seen in the past, that hadn't happened. That never happened. You're going to realize that when you look at the Islamic community, and I will champion the cause of the Islamic community, who vex laws. That's your business. When you look at the Islamic community in our country, if you have housing, a percentage supposed to go for housing. You have officers in the police service, a percentage supposed to go there. Whatever position, whether it be the airport, whether it be state board, whether it be the medical institute, anywhere you turn, if there's Hindus, there's Christians, whatever religious persuasion, whatever ethnic background that we have in our country, it should be incorporated in this board. Not only one for medicine, Prim. You put one person for medicine.
Nobody is championing that cause.
You see, the problem is,
right?
let me tell you, you see the crab in a barrel syndrome. The crab in a barrel syndrome is once I get you, I happy. Once I get you, I happy. And they don't care about the rest. But they see Imam Rashid Karim, I tell you something, anywhere I go, from when I was in the Shogunas Borough, as an activist in the Shogunas Market Association, we were instrumental in getting that new market in Shogunas with men like Kema Hussein, who was the president, and Surojwatan Rambachan, who was the mayor, and Dave Siram, and Orlando Nagisa. Ask these fellas and them the kind of oppression, the kind of protest that we made so that we could get movements taking place. So when you see me sit here, it's not, we come here to make joke, and we come here to smile before a camera. No, we come here to identify. We want justice for the population of Trinidad and Tobago. We have been talking about this. People have to be really and truly disciplined when you are in office. Not because your friends and family supported you in the election. You have to give them the high and mighty position and the dog position down there. You give them that. I'm telling you something. One guy, I called a few people this week, and I said, look, hey, I know that you all have vacancies in the borough. Yeah. And if you could help one person for me, I have one person, he have 2 children, the children sick, right? He's renting. And if he could get a job, you know.
That and God fears you wouldn't.
And let me tell you something. You know what? I got the response that, it have plenty people. And, these people there already in the line. And, let me tell you something. Sometimes you need to shuffle the cards right. And ensure that everybody is served in this country. Let the monies be, dispersed properly. Not only hoarding and going in the bank. And that is the reason why we're suffering. There are people who have billions of dollars in the bank, boy. And there are people who's content. There are people who, they can't even patch a bicycle. Let me just tell you something. A man come this week. And you know what he come by me for? Imam, if I could give him a bicycle patch. That is it. That is a long time thing, hey, I tell you, when that man tell me that, I reached back 40 years ago.
He actually sell it, to give him.
He say, Imam, you could give me a bicycle patch. But I say, you have a bicycle? He say, but that is the only mode of transport I have right now to go to work.
And he would be denied a job in the borough.
Understand what I'm saying? So Trinidad and Tobago, those of you are locked on, and we've seen a lot of comments here. I tell you something, you all could write whatever you want, say whatever you want. You are free. Whether it is for the show, against me, against Prem, against the government, against...
As I said, Imam, let me just interject before we take that break.
Yeah.
My last program with the Imam here was the Saturday, I think it was, before the general election. All right, and then I went and had to do my extracurricular activities and whatnot. And my phone, Imam, was bombarded with calls and text messages that, oh, you and the Imam fall out. You hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, because you're a Hindu, way doing day, and all this kind of thing. And I'm like the Imam paying you good over, and all this kind of dotish. Sorry, I don't want to use the words, right? My friends, listen to me. The only time the Imam and I will fall out is when we stop disagreeing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, exactly.
When we stop disagreeing, I go vex with him for that.
Right. So Trinidad and Tobago, those of you are locked on, right? This program, Hardfacts, is your program. We are here to stay. We are here to identify. We are here to challenge, the thing that people think is unchallengeable. We are here to identify the facts, hard facts on this program. We are saying we are looking on. We are looking on. Let me tell you something. Not because people come cap in hand by your house, right? They come begging. And they send in 1,001 letters for you, seeking help and seeking a position. Because I remember this, that the Prime Minister mentioned this, that the Honorable Kamal Prasad Bisesa mentioned that Watson Duke already sent in a letter looking for a job. Okay, no problem. But what about you all, those of you who supposed to be leaders? You were supposed to be leaders. You know exactly who were the people who were instrumental in lifting you and guiding you and helping you and supporting you and putting you in the position you are today.
Not only for the general election, but over the years.
Over the years.
Yes.
And you know something, Trinidad and Tobago? You were supposed to be looking back in your mental faculties and find out, hey, Suresh Rampasa down there, he from Moruga Tableland. And when we go across there, he always help us. And David Bechande, and this one here, and Rashid Karim there. All of them fellas, they work with us. They work with us. Not because they are coming cap in hand and begging you all. You all have to look out for them. That is what you call leadership. You have to make a call. You have to make a call to them. Hey, how you going? You're dead, you're living. But people are not doing that. So my friends, Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to talk about that. We're going to ask you all to join with us. Those activists in our country who are supposed to get something in return for their labor.
And if not for them, for the people around them, Imam.
No, basically, let me just give you an example. Let me just give you an example. People like me who are chairman of this organization, that organization, people know us and they work with us.
And they will come to you
and they support us. And like I tell you something. Let me just say something. A man in Canada, a man who migrated to Canada, he called and congratulate me. Imam Rashid Karim, boy, your government win now, boy. I hope you get a good position. I hope you get a good position so you can help out all them brothers and sisters and all those people who work with you tirelessly in all the other elections. In all the other elections. And you know what? I stayed quiet. I zipped my mouth. I stay quiet. Not embarrassed or anything. I feel that whatever is destined for me will be for me. And that's it. Finished. Let's take our first break. All right, so I was just talking to the people on TikTok, and those people who are live on the different arenas, Ahmed, Salam, and a lot of people outside there who is texting us, and they are running through our TikTok. I want to just say special hats off to you all, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are locked on, those of you who are participating, those of you having your lunch at this point in time. There are many things you want to talk about. There are many, many things that you want to talk about. Not only we seeing every day. I think that is a scapegoat. When we seeing all these things happening and people saying this and that and the next.
You think you are informed.
Yes.
You think you are informed.
I just believe that we are being.
There's a shame, you know.
Yeah. So I believe that all those information, when it comes to fraudulent activities taking place in the public domain, especially where we, the citizens of our country, or have to pay, or we are funding those corruption, I tell you something, people have to get locked up, and that is the only way crime is going to stop. Because you know what, we want the people who kidnap, the kidnappers, we want the murderers, we want the rapists, we want the people who commit fraud and burglary, we want them locked up. Isn't that so? A lot of people were calling for their head, hang them, kill them, castrate them. Isn't that so? What about the politicians? What about the people, chairmen of board? What about those persons? Like one person called me, right? And I just mentioned it. And this has to be investigated by Minister Vandana. It seems as though the person who is in charge of social welfare and shogunas, they believe that you know, they are the God sent. They are selective on who they're giving pension.
Imam, you are correct. You are correct.
The amount of complaint. The amount of complaint came to my desk
against that individual.
That individual who is there. I think that is a political appointment, and that position is supposed to be, you know, at least get rid. That individual should be get rid of, because there's too much. There is too much complaint against that individual, claiming that that individual is discriminative and vindictive when it comes to giving people their pensions. It is as though it is seeming that woman there is a woman who holds that position.
Not only pension, disability grant, and all these type of things. People are really, really complaining. Now, my friends, I just want to, you know, to make this call again to the Minister of Homeland Security and the newly appointed Commissioner of Police. Sir, people are scared in our country. There is no doubt about it. Your children go to work. They're supposed to reach from 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 they reach. You begin, you know, your blood pressure begin to go up.
Yeah.
Tell us, what plans do you have in place to curb crime? Tell us, in the meantime, what can we, the ordinary citizens, do to protect ourselves? And on top of that all, stand your grounds law.
Yeah.
All right? The United National Congress, who is not government now, you know, they campaign on stand your grounds law. And, you know, people have been applying left, right, and I know that. Approximately 40,000 people, Imam, have applied, right? You need to come out, Mr. Commissioner of Police, or Mr. Commissioner of Police, not Homeland Security, you are the minister, and speak with the Commissioner of Police, and tell the nation, you know, how fast these applications have been processed, if at all, you understand? And, you know, what is the next step? Because people are really, really scared. Now, Imam, I want to congratulate Councillor for the Carolina Monroe area, Councillor Adrian Ali, my good partner. You know, we were at Crossroads at one time, but the Imam patched up that, you know. He's a good patcher, you know. I see a lot of road restoration work is going on in Dino Road in Charleville, you know, up to Monroe Road. And I really, really would like to congratulate Councillor Adrian Ali, and that our councillor is working. Now, Councillor, there are some very dangerous potholes in Ashraf Road also. I would like you to come and have a look, and, you know, just a little patching up, and be good with that. Now, Imam, we go to school violence. Mm-hmm. I know you want to talk on that.
We come back with school violence, because it has so many different things that is really and truly important. Now, I tell you something, huh? Listen, Trinidad and Tobago. In our last program, for vacation time like this, Premchand Baldev and myself, we did a survey where we identify how much money is needed for kindergarten, preschool, primary school, and secondary school. Yeah. We're not talking about tertiary and whatever. We're talking about those three. And I'm sure that the figures are going to go up. I want to say hats off. I want to say hats off to the Prime Minister. I know something, right? The Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesana, those are singing from Miss Supper. Because when she did right, we corrected her. And we criticized her when she did wrong. So don't come and tell me, Imam, you're singing for your supper boy. No, the woman is doing the right thing. Now, she's given approximately, when you look at 20,000, the director pull back up that thing. Education Ministry to offer 20 million in book grant to 20,000. So that is equivalent to maybe $1,000 per student. And that is a really and truly a healthy start, right? So those of you who are locked on, take advantage of this. How is that going to be disseminated? I don't know.
That is a grand gesture.
Yeah.
That is, and for those of you who, prior to the election, I know you all are looking, that, oh, we were bashing this and bashing this and bashing the Prime Minister. Hey, this is a neutral program. We come here with a neutral mind. Now listen, that is a grand gesture, and we applaud the Prime Minister on that, okay? I read somewhere, Imam, where, the 2024-25 book list remains. They are not going to change the book list. Unlike when the People's National was in power, every year you had to fork out hard-earned money that you do have to buy new books. Now we're going again. The Prime Minister of India, Mr. Modi, was here and promised our government 2,000 laptops. All right, and that is for our school children. That is for the children of Trinidad and Tobago. How that will be disseminated, that is left on the government, equally in an equitable manner. Yeah. Now, if you will recall, people, when the People's National Movement was in power, the government before that had introduced laptops, thousands of laptops. Where did the laptop go on? Who made the call to remove the laptop? Who said that our children had don't see head?
All right, I want to tell you something. Trinidad and Tobago, let me be real. Let's be real here today on this program, Hard Facts. I want to let you all know something, right? That the United National Congress is in government at this point. You know what I cannot understand? The citizens of this country, we are paying the opposition. We are paying their salary. And the very sad thing I said when it comes to when the PNM was in power, the United National Congress was in opposition. Yeah. They were being paid by the citizens of this country, not Dr. Keith Rowley, not Kamla Prasad Bisasa. Our monies, this is our monies, our hard-earned monies via taxes and implementations of different ideas and ideologies and so forth. We are paying the salaries of these people. Now, coming back to hear that the opposition now trying to be nice and they can identify everything that is wrong with the United Nations.
They make it wrong.
It take 10 years in their office, and they couldn't see nothing. They were blinded by power. They were blinded by, the hallucination.
Nepotism.
Right? And I tell you something, now they can see everything. When I read that thing pertaining to this guy, call him Imbert, where he talking about Kamla, talking about ID card. Having your ID card at all times. That is a good thing, because I tell you something, nowadays, there are so many people getting killed. You know something, if the people have their ID card in their pocket, it will be so easy for the police to inform their families and so forth. So come good, that is not important. Whether she raised the age of alcohol for 21, these things is not so important. What is important is that the government is initiating programs that will be helpful, that will bring some sort of changes later on, whether you like it or not. But you and I know the past history of Trinidad and Tobago is that the United National Congress will come in office. They will make a lot of changes. They will do a lot of development. They will build. They will do a lot of things when it comes to the economy and so forth. And I'll tell you something, 5 years after, they are voted out.
Government boots.
Yeah, government boots again. So again, that should not happen. And how that should be really and truly clarified, every single individual who are holding a public office should be held accountable, not after the election, when another party win the election and say, well, look, PNMT, because I tell you something, PNM said this for 10 years, that the United National Congress and the Honorable Kamla Prasad Bisasa and her past ministers, they stole the treasury. They did everything that is heinous and wrong. That is the very same thing going to happen again. So Trinidad and Tobago, let us try to work together, because I want to see, you know what I want to see? And the government have already started in the correct direction. That property tax was a menace. Was a hindrance.
And that has gone.
And that gone.
With the wind.
So I feel an ease. I feel ease. That's number one. Number two, my friends, when we look at the pensioners, and I am calling on Vandana Mohit, the minister who is in charge of social development, right, and gender affairs. This is an important issue that has been raised here. There's an individual at the Shoguna's office, right, who is showing a lot of discrimination when it comes to processing, when it comes to people pension, when it comes to aid, to helping people who are mentally,
people
physically
are being buffed and embarrassed. They leave that individual office crying, dejected and rejected and know where to turn to. That's why they have contacted Sentinel Media Broadcast to highlight it.
And I'll tell you something, further information is coming, because I'll tell you something, two individuals, and you know what we try to do on this program? We try to contain it. We try to contain it. People were sending voicemail, people were sending recording, and I told them, I say, here what, you see them thing? There's a lot of AI going on right now, and I'm not going to believe in them thing. What you have, give me documental evidence that you went there and you have all the criterion for pension and they have denied you. Or you are a sick person and you were supposed to get relief, some help, and they deny you. Show me that in writing, because you see that AI and recording and thing, I'm not going for that at all, at all, at all. I am calling on the government of the day. If you find people who are, who are guilty of crime when it comes to usurping the rights of citizens in this country, they should be fired forthwith and they should be charged. And their property should be taken away because of the amount of billions of dollars that was really and truly stolen in the past.
You know something, Imam? Anybody who is being appointed at a very, very high level, be it a chairman or a vice chairman of a board or board members and that sort of thing, they should be made to declare their assets, prior to getting in these positions, right? So that some measure of monitoring and some measure of accountability will take place. Now, people, for your building materials, for, from foundation to finish, inclusive of plumbing and electrical and your water tanks and your water heaters and your power tools and your hand tools, and for boating equipment and that sort of thing, you visit Island Express Hardware and you ask to speak to the Imam, as I usually would say, and you get your very, very good prices that is unbeatable anywhere you go in Trinidad and Tobago. Island Express Hardware has it. Now, at this point, I would just like to shout out one or two people who asked me that, Prem, when you get back on the program, let us know. So to Miss Deuki from Whiteland and Mr. Robin Bale from Whiteland, thank you and for viewing our program. Mr. Jai from Debe, Mr. Malo from Guayco, and the Mercers from Diego Martin. These are our loyal viewers, and they will send a lot of videos and messages for us. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from approximately 12:15 p.m. It is a 1-hour program. It is an unedited program where we bring you facts and nothing else but facts. Imam.
Okay, so as Prem has been, alluding to some of those loyal and hard, ardent fans, I wanted to say a special hello to my nephew Akash Sukhdev, Babita Maharaj. I want to say a special hello to my auntie Vidya Sukaran. Condolences, she have lost her daughter just recently, and I know she's really, really sad. But I just want to say something. Our dear sister Asha, who have passed and gone to the great beyond, I tell you something, she was really and truly a gem. I went around there for the funeral and so forth, and a lot of people were saying how, this individual, that would have been Asha, the person who died, and how she was very, very much instrumental in assisting a lot of people who were underprivileged in that area. So to my auntie again, Vidya, may God Almighty bless you and keep you all safe. And again, those of you who are locked on, feel free to call us, 372-2129. I just want to mention something before we go on the break, right? There is a program that is going to take place this weekend. That is the 17th, 18th, and the 18th, 19th, and 20th. Uniting the Ummah, Ijtima 2025, Masjid Rahma. That is in Bokal, opposite the Corn Mill. That is Bokal Road, Monroe, Columbia there. And that program is starting, really and truly starting on Thursday evening. But Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is designated where you can come, you can participate. And this program is really and truly designed for the male aspect of our Islamic community and the population, male, right? And that program is where people from different parts of the world will be coming, and they will be giving you inspirational information. They're giving you advice on how to be successful in this life as well as the next life. So those of you who are locked on, you are free to come, you are free to join us at the Ishtima, that's the Caribbean Ishtima. There will be lots and lots of people from the Caribbean coming in. And that program, my friends, will be held. That is Friday, this coming Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And that is located at the Masjid Ar-Rahma. That is just opposite the WGM Corn Mill on Bokal Road, Kunupia, Shogunas. Right? That's the place to be this weekend. Come there and understand how to really and truly live, how to identify, how to be a better human being, how to cultivate, this God consciousness. That is what the program is all about.
So Imam is open to anybody?
Come, anybody. Let me tell you something. Islam is not for Muslim. Islam is for everyone. And I tell you something, right? I tell you all this. A lot of people would say, when you look at the Islamic community in the world, there's lots of war and this, that, and that. Let me tell you something. You want to find Islam, you have to look at the Sunnah and you have to read the Quran. Because basically when you look at many, many Muslims today, you don't really and truly identify correctly with Islam. So you want to find out Islam, that is the environment that you have to visit this week. You have an opportunity to come this week, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Anytime. It's whole day program, whole day program. You come down there, you sit, meet with people. I would be around there. I would be in front. I would be a person who would be ushering people and so forth. I'll be in front. You come, you want to meet, you want to talk to me, come talk to me. If you would like to have a free copy of the Quran, I have a lot of Quran. I have a lot of books. You can come there, meet me, and I will pass it on to you. Right? So those of you who are locked on, my friends, you can call me at 372-2129. If you need further information, call me. But back to the topic that we were talking about. We were talking about crime in our country, and I would like people to call me 372 because I'm reading a lot of the texts on TikTok, and people are asking questions like, who is going to guard us from the police? So they are insinuating that there are many police officers who might not be what they are, right? So again, we can't say. What we want you, Trinidad and Tobago, 372-2129. If you had a bad encounter or you had a good encounter, because I saw something, I think this would have been somewhere in South, where a gentleman went to make a report. And when he went to make that report, how he was treated and how the report was taken and how the police officer was very professional in all his endeavors, he put it on Facebook. And that is what we are doing. We want to be like that. We don't want to come here and only cry down, this, that, the next. No, we want to identify the good things so that it can, really and truly give you that step up and that push to do the right thing. Let's take our second break.
So welcome back, friends. Welcome back to our midweek program of Sentinel Media Broadcasting. You can catch us live on TikTok, on YouTube, and on Facebook from approximately 12:15 p.m. The Reverend Imam Rashid Karim, who is the CEO of this station. Our Imam is also the Imam of the Felicity Masjid. I tried to get the Imam to attend a few of my lectures very well during my absence here. And Imam was so busy that he keeps saying yes, but
that's because of the program.
But he was not able to fulfill his promise.
Yeah.
So Imam, I hope and trust that when I have some programs, carded, I hope that you would be able to attend.
I just hope you could give me a 5 minutes, sir.
To speak on my
to
program.
Speak,
yeah. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, counterfeit money has been circulated in our country. Director, you have that clip, right? And one has got to be very, very careful. These monies are usually passed on in places of gambling, you know, in clubs and in pubs, nighttime,
busy
areas where there's a heavy flow, a heavy cash flow, and a heavy flow of people purchasing and that sort of thing. So you've got to be very, very cautious. You know, familiarize yourself with the texture of the money and you know the watermarks and that sort of thing. So you know you don't want to get caught up in that. Now there is a video also circulating where some sort of maintenance work is taking place at Petrotrain in the Point-A-Pay area there. Director, you got that also? Yeah. And, you know, it shows that, hey, maybe something is happening that we are not aware of. Now, if you run it again here. Right, that is the Point-A-Pay area. So it seems that the Imam things are looking up for our country. Right?
But basically, normally, this is a normal thing. Whenever the United National Congress goes into office, you see a lot of transition, you see a lot of things happening. And there are people outside there, all they look for when it comes...
to bring down, you know.
It's just a, you know, they can't cope with progress. They cannot, there are people like that, huh? They hate
progress.
They hate to see somebody successful. They like to see people dragging on their behind. That is what they like. And that is not what they're seeing. So basically, I am calling on the government of the day. Continue your good work, number one. Number two is that all those information that is coming forth when it comes to fraudulent transactions in public office, deal with it. People are asking questions, right? People are asking questions about the healthcare in our country. Now, I tell you something, I would think...
That has been an ISO for 10 years.
I think, right, the Honorable Kamal Prasad Bisasa, and I identified this last 2 weeks, that, you know, the Kuva Children's Hospital should be established as a children's hospital in the true sense of the words. And all those kids who are in different hospitals at this point in time, they could be moved to the children's hospital, and those rooms that is available for children wards and so forth could be transformed into adult wards. Isn't that a good idea, Prem?
Imam, during my absence from the program here, you know, I spent 4 days at the Kuva Children's Hospital. All right? I contracted a respiratory disease, and I was there for 4 days. And the best free treatment you can ever expect from a hospital in Trinidad and Tobago is from the Kuva Children's Hospital. And I would like to, you know, to say hats off and kudos to all the doctors and nurses and staff there who attend to us and other patients there. Now, what the Imam is saying, my friends, that call has to be made from a governmental level. That all this hospital, the Kuva Children's Hospital, is now open to all children.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever be your ailment or your cause, once we are able, we will be able, once we can treat it there, you come there. Go ahead, Director.
Yeah. So that's basically what we are talking about here in our program. So my friends, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good show. I really like looking at your shows. You're doing really good. I have a concern, right? Right now, my main concern is that the healthcare system in Trinidad and Tobago, especially at Mount Hope, that service there is so terrible. And don't get me started on their pharmacies. I have to wait long in line just for them not to have the medications, and the appointments are ridiculous. Right now, my son have an appointment for 2027. All I'm asking for is that for the UNC government, I know they now come in power, but I really hope and pray and wish that they open the Kuva Children's Hospital as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
your
very
call
much.
and highlighting your concern.
Right. So again, you know, what in that caller voice, I heard, you know, the passion that, you know, she would like to see something happening. But what she mentioned there is something that is really and truly a rude awakening for many people. Imagine this, right? Imagine this. You go there early in the morning with your prescription, and you would sit there, your turn maybe 2 hours or 3 hours after, and when you go up to the counter, they tell you that they don't have the drugs. I believe that a person, whether it be a trainee doctor or maybe a pharmacist or somebody who is on the ground dealing with issues like that, you know what?
Pass around and look at the prescription.
Not even that. People, when you have the prescription, you go directly to this agent, this clerk or whatever, and say, well, look, we don't have this. We have this, or we have the next.
Exactly. Don't have them sit down there
I mean,
waiting.
that's so unfair. Things really and truly hard in our country. Let me tell you something. UNC in power, yes. People, people are breathing a sigh of relief in the sense that when you look at the attitude of some of those ministers who were in the past government, how they carry about themselves, how they conduct transaction, how they talk to John public.
Talk to them,
Yeah, you don't even want to see them, right? And you know what? They had this dark cloud over them. Now we have another government in power, and that have changed a bit in the sense that they are identifying the atrocities and the anomalies that have been perpetrated by the last government. But there are people outside there who still don't believe that. There are people who say that UNC fabricating these things. You know why? You know why? And I kind of giving them a little...
Yeah, but wait. If somebody say that the present government is fabricating these information...
The story to look good.
Where are you getting that information from? Just say that.
No, Prem, what I was saying...
You understand? You are also fabricating because you have no evidence?
No, well, I kind of, that individual who's saying that, he's assuming, because I tell you this, you're going to hear all these queries and concerns and all these things popping up and nobody getting locked up. So it clearly indicates now that this could be like a email gate. This could be something like that. They're just raising their heads with allegations because nobody going to get locked up. When people start getting locked up, then people will take things seriously in our country.
Imam, I know time to close. The only politician I know who got locked up was deceased former Prime Minister Basil Pandey, and it wasn't for long either. So we need to see some changes. All right? Now, Imam, the member of parliament for Shogunas West constituency, the present one, that is Dr. Neil Gosain, I think it is, right? Right. Dr. Neil Gosain.
I don't want to get vexed with nobody, right? Neil Gosain, he's Shogunas West MP. And I tell you something, I have never heard from him for the past 2.5 months.
This is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Dr. Neil
Who vexed
Gosain,
laws.
People are really asking, where are you? Where is your office situated? Now,
who run in the office?
Who run in the office? And that sort of, and how people are being treated when they go to your office.
Now, just now, stop. I tell you something. I extend an invitation for him to come to a function that we had, the 41st anniversary of the IFST. We went to the office to drop an official invitation. The office closed. Hand delivered. The office closed.
During working hours?
Yes. We went to Vandana office, Minister Vandana. She took the letter and said, okay, she will get it across. Right? We waited for at least to get some sort of correspondence, whether they come in or they are coming. That's what I'm telling you. When you start treating people like garbage, people are going to start to treat you like garbage. Every single correspondence that goes to your office should be listened to and should be acknowledged and should be responded and replied.
Correct. Yes.
Right? But again, you telling me something? You telling me, people saying that, but you know what? I stay quiet because, once I come out here and I start talking, people, the people who get in and who benefit. Not only sour grape. See that man? That man does attack everybody. That man is a man that's attack for everybody. He does attack for everything. No, I don't want to get that kind of stigma because certain people really and truly does do that. Not me. I call a spade a spade. That is what we're telling you.
Right. The point I make now, Dr. Neil Gosain, my MP, all right, who is representing my issues and my concerns in Shogunas West, sir, I wish to inform you that there are some concerns in my area where I live, where I reside, that needs to be addressed forthwith, immediately. I am coming to your office with a correspondence and a delegation of about 9 to 12 people during working hours of your office when you are not in parliament. I am asking that when we come there, you accommodate us and you look at our concerns and address it immediately. That's all I'm going to say for now.
Exactly. So again, one of our viewers here, one of our live participants saying, hi, who are the councillor for Carlsonfield? Please and thanks. The councillor for Carlsonfield is one guy by the name of Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed is the person in charge there. Again, maybe if you need to see him, his office is open.
Because, see, Imam, the response and the answer for the past 9 years from the United National Congress councillors and MPs was or were, we're not in government, we have no money.
Yeah.
That cannot work anymore. You all are in government. People are looking forward for the promises that you all made and that you would meet their expectations halfway.
Right. And I personally, I tell you something, right? I have been I have been in participation with the politics of Trinidad and Tobago for the longest while. I'm talking about for 40 years, 42 years as a matter of fact. And I tell you something, in the 42 years of the history of residing in Felicity and environs, right, we have really and truly not gotten anything of substance. Number one, Felicity needs a cremation site, number one. Number two, Felicity needs, it needs a dock, a fishing depot, a fishing dock. There's over 500 boats in Felicity, that's number two. Number three, they need to have some sort of health facility established, whether it be a weekly or monthly. I remember this when we were little children going, you know, there would have been vans that would move around in certain areas and they would be doing free medical checkup, free dental checkup. Those things have to come back. Where, you know, medical and...
You're touching a kind of deep area there. The present government in their campaign trail, they promise to reintroduce doctor visits and all this kind of thing by your home, you know.
No, this is what we're talking about, right? And the last but not least, knowing for a fact that there is approximately 500 boats that goes out to the ocean and come back, goes out and come back. We were talking about, you know, the police post or some sort of protective service, or at least
to monitor the movements of people and
more
vessels.
police patrols and so forth. And those things has to be really and truly initiated by Minister of Homeland Security. And these are some of the things. I tell you something, when you look at the 42 years, Felicity had one community center that was built by the PNM. One community center, and that is not a community center again. That is a private center that has been taken over by a group of people there, and they use it how they want. And if you want it, you had to get permission. No, a community center is for everybody: Hindu, Christian, Muslim, African, Indian, Chinese, whoever. That is not happening. So these are the things, you know, we calling on the people who take position. Councillors, it had 2 potholes in Greenwich Road.
But Imam, those are some of, you know, one of the, let me spill the bean a little bit. One of the items to be discussed with the Member of Parliament for Shogunas West is the Felicity cremation site and the boating port.
Yeah.
Right? Where Imams, approximately 500 boats operate on a daily basis. With people, with goods, with fish, and that sort of thing. We need some sort of checks and balances there.
And it seems as though we are the only voice, and we would welcome people joining with us so that we can have a positive lobby group, right? Positive lobby group to bring some sort of betterment for the communities adjacent to the Shogunas area when it comes to Charlieville, Monroe Road, when it comes to Felicity, Petersfield, Caroni Savannah Road, this area, this cadastral here. Look at it. What do we get? What have we gotten from the PNM in the past?
Imam, again, I would say this, right? You vouch for a certain political party, you go all out, you ill speak, you make enmity, and your party has won. What are you, you know, what are you going to do with your MP to get things done? Your MP sitting down cool and nice in the office, you know, and you are complaining and you are suffering and you're not saying anything. You're not even, you don't want to come in this program to show your face. You don't want to call because somebody will go make out your voice and that sort of thing. And, you know, the ball goes rolling as it was for the past 9 years.
And Prem and I,
right?
We are being, you know, we are being bad named all over that, you know, we attacking and we attacking. We talking the truth. We are talking the truth. What have we gotten from any government when it comes to development projects in Felicity?
Absolutely none.
None. You tell me, anybody outside there who dare call me on the station 3722129 and let me know if what we have gotten as a community, have we gotten a community center? Have we gotten any refurbished schools? Have we gotten any cemetery in Felicity? Have we gotten anything? Have we gotten a boatyard? Have we gotten a cremation site? Have we gotten any better roads? Have we gotten any better drainage? Have we gotten any better security measures put in place for us? You tell me. And you know something? Our party in power.
Well, this is what I'm saying, Imam. There's a 12-point a program that I'm going to put forward to Dr. Neil Gosain. He has to respond. He has to answer. I voted for him. He is my representative. He is my voice in parliament. It is not going to be easy sailing for nobody. Nobody at all. Because listen, Imam, as a Hindu, I'm a practicing Hindu. Our Hindu brothers and sisters, most of our our cultural and religious activities in the mandir takes place at night time.
Yeah.
Between the hours of 7 to 9. So you would be leaving the mandir around 9:30, 9:45 to go back home. And that is big night. That is a dangerous time to be going home from the mandir. What is being put in place for all this type of security measures and whatnot? Absolutely nothing.
What should have been done, right? This is going in 3 months now. An individual like myself who is a diehard activist for betterment for my community, nobody have reached out. Nobody have reached out to call or to ask, well, Imam, be part of a committee that, we're going to set up. We're going to set up a community council, or we're going to set up a team of people. When Dinesh Rambali was there, we had this going on. But then again, we are blacklisted because we were part and parcel of the United National Congress, being loyal to the past MP. Now he's no longer there. Right? You all understand the transaction that took place. We are still there, and we are still vociferous. We are still working with the United Nations.
And fighting the said cause.
We are fighting for the United National Congress, trying to make sure and ensure that the burgesses in the constituencies of Chaguanas West and adjacent areas benefit from the, from the stipends and from the portfolios that will be given to the different agencies, from the different agencies to the people of our country. We have to have a good working committee in the Chaguanas West. And that is what we really and truly have to develop that. And I'm still waiting on some sort of correspondence for the last letter that I wrote to the MP. That's number one. And I'm going to continue repeating myself. Myself and Premchand, we're going to do that. We would like to work with the MP, the minister. Not MP, he's the minister of the area. The minister, we want to work with him to ensure that the community is served properly. That is what we are all about.
And all the other ministers, including the Prime Minister.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So those of you who are locked on, my friends, let me take this opportunity to thank you all very, very much for being part and parcel of our program, Hard Facts. And those of you who would like to really and truly let us know what is taking place. If you don't want to call us, you can write us, you can send small videos, you can send a voicemail, and we are going to play it once it is newsworthy. Because I got a lot of voicemail and a lot of information, but you see that mobile thing, we're not going to really and truly identify that here. Because maybe we have more fault. We have more fault than you, the people who you're pointing out, their faults, right? So we don't want to go down to highlight faults of people. Let us highlight the good qualities in people, so that maybe if they have committed any mistakes or any wrong, they could be able to correct themselves. That is what the program is all about. Not to shine up nobody and not to make people look bad. No, but what we are saying is that the government of the day, they are finding out, they are doing a lot of investigations, right? And information is coming up. We would like, from this end of the program, Hard Facts, Sentinel Media Broadcasting, that we would like to see people get locked up. Lock up for the monies that is missing. There are lots and lots of monies that is missing. Do not, and we're gonna blow this horn right through from now until the next 5 years. How many people getting locked up for the fraud that they have committed? Because 60 billion, 300 and something million, this million, that million going, right? This million ghost people, 6,000 ghost workers here. What is going on? If you have ghost,
if you are unearthing, solid, substantial evidence of wrongdoings, you have evidence. What is the point in keeping it? Pass it on to the police.
Pass it on.
Let due process takes its course.
Correct. So thank you all very much. May God Almighty bless you all until Saturday. Okay, this Saturday.
No program.
No program this Saturday. The reason being, the Ishtima, pull up the Ishtima there, brother. Director. I will be there in this program, Uniting the Ummah Ijtima 2025 at the Masjid Rahma, that is in Monroe Road. That is the big markaz, the big building opposite the corn mill, that is WGM.
With that, would you have Jummah in your masjid?
Yeah, everybody had a normal Jummah, but this program is a special program. And knowing for a fact that school is closed and so forth, a lot of young children, young boys, and their fathers will be there. This program is basically for the male in our homes. The ladies program is always around. The information that is going to be shared there at this program will be passed on by the husband and the sons to their sisters, to their aunts, to their grandparents when they go home. So it's basically a package. Come and take part in this beautiful gathering. Come and reap the rewards and benefit so that our families can be saved, not from the fire of this world, but from the fire of the hereafter. Thank you very much. God bless you and keep us all safe until next week.